Jaden Rashada is coming to Arizona State, and we're going to spend the entirety of this podcast talking about the ramifications of this move. Let's go ahead and hop right into it on this edition of the Locked On Sun Devils podcast.
Are Locked On Sun Devils, your daily podcast on the Arizona State Sun Devils, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
This episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, official sportsbook of Locked On. Make every moment more. Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn today and get started. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. What's going on, everyone? My name is Richie Bradshaw, host of the Locked On Sun Devils podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Let's just dive right into this. Jaden Rashada, quarterback out of Pittsburg High School in Pittsburg, California, is officially going to Arizona State University. He is following in the footsteps of his father, Harlan Rashada, who played for the team in the 90s as a defensive back. He is a very highly regarded four-star quarterback, one of the hottest names on the recruiting recruiting market, who had yet to declare for what team he was going to bring his talents to. That is no longer the case. Jaden Rashada is coming to Tempe, Arizona, and looks like the future of the position. We got to talk about it. We got a lot to talk about here just with Jaden by himself, and that's what we're going to spend the entirety of this podcast doing, is talking about Jaden Rashada. So first of all, I want to break this up into what you need to know about Jaden Rashada. Jaden Rashada, like I said, is a four-star recruit. Coming out, he has a composite score of 0.9623. That's a very, very high four-star recruit. To put that in perspective, Jaden Daniels, when he came out of San Bernardino, California, he was a 0.9832. He, I believe, is the highest quarterback recruit the Sun Devils have ever had. Rashada not terribly far behind his predecessor in Jaden Daniels. Like I said, this is a legacy player. His father played for Arizona State University in the 90s, and this was a move that we've kind of been speculating for a while. He originally had committed to Florida to be a Gator. He decommitted and then reopened everything, and it felt like there was a lot of good options for him on the table. Miami, Florida was originally in the running with Florida for his services. That ended up falling through a little bit. TCU had brought him in. I believe Colorado was taking a look at him. There was a lot of teams and colleges that were in on Jaden Rashada, and naturally so. Again, not a 5-star, but a very, very high 4-star. So this isn't a move, a signing, a commit to overlook. Looking at what he did during his time at Pittsburg High School, he had been on the varsity team for all 4 years of his career and progressively got more and more involved until he was a starter for the last 2 seasons of his high school career. In his senior season, he threw for 3,055 yards, 32 touchdowns against 13 interceptions. He completed 62.4% of his passes for a 107.3 quarterback rating. This was done in 14 games. He also carried the ball 68 times for 419 yards and 7 more touchdowns on the ground, averaging 6.2 yards per carry. Rashada, a dual threat quarterback. Rashada, a guy who is going to be bringing a lot to the table for Arizona State. Now, I do want to preface it with this. As of right now, I have not had a chance to look at any high school film that he has that might be on YouTube or somewhere else that I can find. So I can't tell you too much about the intricacies about his game without, fibbing and lying to you guys. And that's not what I'm here to do. I will be doing my due diligence and looking into him more now that he is for sure coming to Arizona State. But with that being said, I do know that he obviously is a guy who has improved each year of his career. As a starting quarterback, he clearly has some prowess as a runner in his career. He had 592 rushing yards and 5.8 yards per carry. This is a guy who clearly is taking steps forward and will be coming to Arizona State ready to continue taking steps forward and will be in very, very stiff competition. We'll be talking about that shortly. With Arizona State, he gets to come in and work with brand new head coach Kenny Dillingham. Dillingham has been able to work with some very talented quarterbacks over the course of his career as an offensive coordinator, as a graduate assistant, and all sorts of places. And this is one of the most exciting players that he's gotten to work with. He was going to be working with Dante Moore at Oregon before he came to Arizona State, and Moore ended up going to UCLA. So with Rashada, this is one of the highest regarded prospects that he's had a chance to actually work with. This will be a very exciting stage for Arizona State to take a look at with what they potentially have here with Jaden Rashada. This is a great situation for Rashada. He's coming into a brand new offense that's not got a lot of loyalties right now. Like, this is a wide open quarterback competition. It's not just going to be Rashada's going to be stashed away and told to wait and bide his time on this team. He has a chance to be the starting quarterback from day one for Arizona State. There are no guarantees. Right now, it is going to be a four-legged race, more than likely, between Jaden Rashada, returning quarterback Trenton Bourguet, and transfers Jacob Conover from BYU and Drew Pine from Notre Dame. That's a lot of competition. And what you're hoping for is the classic case of iron sharpens iron. You're able to get that, and you'll be able to get the most out of your quarterback situation. But when looking at Rashada, clearly he's got a little bit of an upper hand because this is one of Dillingham's guys. This is probably Dillingham's most prized possession right now. We'll see what we're going to have in store for Jaden Rashada here, but it's hard to not look at this situation and think that this is going to really go any other way moving forward. Rashada, clearly one of the more important recruiting gets for Dillingham in his short tenure at Arizona State University. This year, the only app you need at your Super Bowl party is FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, and we're really excited to be their new sports betting partner because they're the #1 sportsbook in America. If you're new to FanDuel, that's even better. They have many great features that make betting on sports fun and easy. Download FanDuel now so you can bet Super Bowl 57 with a no-sweat first bet. You'll get up to $3,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. FanDuel lets you bet on everything from the money line to point spreads to who will score the first touchdown. And like I said, it's the app you need for all your Super Bowl prop bets. The FanDuel Sportsbook app is safe, secure, super easy to use, and best of all, you get paid for your winnings instantly. So join FanDuel today at FanDuel.com/lockedon to claim your first no-sweat first bet on Super Bowl 57. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. You guys, Locked On is at Mobile, Alabama right now for the Reese's Senior Bowl. So tune in for all the coverage you need on the NFL's next generation and find out which NFL draft boards these players will be climbing all in one location. Subscribe to Locked On NFL Draft for nightly shows from the Senior Bowl on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Let's talk about the outlook here. So with Jaden Rashada coming in, like I said, this is going to be a stiff quarterback competition. It feels like this is a four-man race right now with one returning guy, two transfers, and now a highly regarded four-star recruit. Like I mentioned previously, that old-fashioned saying of iron sharpens iron. What you're hoping for is that Arizona State will be able to take this Jaden Rashada situation and get the most out of everyone. Like I said, right now, Kenny Dillingham's not married to any of these quarterbacks. And that is a very good thing. That is a very good thing. That means that Arizona State's going to go into this with an open mind on what they want to be able to get out of all the players that are on the team. They could easily roll with Drew Pine. They could easily roll with, oh my goodness, what's his name? Jacob Conover. They could easily roll with Trenton Bourget. They could easily roll with Jaden Rashada. That's a really good thing. That's not a bad thing. It could be any order of those guys. You could have Jaden Rashada as the 4th quarterback on the depth chart and Jacob Conover as the 1st. This is good news for Arizona State, because I know that there are some people who were wondering whether or not this was going to be a smart decision because there are so many quarterbacks on the roster. But the reason why this is a good decision is you're keeping all your options open. You're keeping them all on the table, and you're allowing yourself to, like I said, not be married to any singular quarterback. You'll be able to figure out what you like the most. There is a really important aspect that comes in here, though, that I want to talk about. This is not just big for the quarterback room. This is big for the program, and here's why. Arizona State has really struggled with their recruiting in recent years. With all of the sanctions that we're still waiting to come down for the COVID violations and whatnot, we're waiting to see how this is going to affect recruiting, or at least we were. As of right now, it does not appear that this is going to be something that affects the team in a large way. Looking at Arizona State, they now have themselves 16 players who have signed their letters of intent. They have 4 more hard commits, which includes Rashada, the highest commit of them all. 25 players that are coming in via the transfer portal. That is a brand new roster from top to bottom. This is a team that clearly, as of right now, is not going to be affected by the transfer portal. They're not going to be affected, they're not going to be affected by the sanctions because they're using the transfer portal. That's what I meant to say. Because they are able to bring in recruits. And now with bringing in Jaden Rashada, it's not just about bringing in some 3-star recruits, which I know that some people were worried about is, Arizona State, yeah, their recruiting is up, but they're only bringing in 3-star players. Like, I understand that was a concern for people because obviously we want the 4 stars, we want the 5 stars, but you're not going to get those instantly. That's going to take time. It's going to take proving for this program that Kenny Dillingham is the guy to be able to take Arizona State to that next margin, to be able to start recruiting the 4 stars and the 5 stars on a consistent basis. But to land Jaden Rashada in year 1 already tells you that we're making progress. This is one of our best recruits that we've ever pulled to the program. I would have to take a look at the highest graded recruits that we've had. I've got them right here. Looking at Rashada, he is going to be, that is a .673 for Brady White. I believe Rashada was just a little bit higher, a .623. So that he's going to be a little bit lower than Brady White, who was the 7th highest recruit that the team has brought in. And he will be tied with Garrell Robinson, the wide receiver who came in 2008. So this is a top 10 recruit that Arizona State has brought in right now with Jaden Rashada. That's going to send shockwaves through this program in terms of being able to start recruiting who they want to be able to recruit. That's huge. This is what recruits are looking at right now. They're going to see that Arizona State brought in Jaden Rashada, and they're going to go, man, I want to be a part of that change. I want to be a part of the future for Arizona State. You're going to have those 4 stars. You might start getting 5 stars who look at Arizona State and feel that, like I said, they want to be part of the change. They want to be part of the next era of Arizona State football. It's part of what we've talked about before. It's part of what Kenny Dillingham has talked about before about hashtag activating the Valley. We are clearly beginning to invest in this program. We're beginning to invest in the future. We're beginning to take that next step as a program. There's still steps that need to be taken. But right now, Like I said, it's really hard to not get excited over this. If you're looking for a delicious treat and don't want all the fat and calories, then you got to try a Built Bar. We just got through the holidays. My goal is to eat a little bit healthier this year. If you're like me, when you want to start eating healthy, but you don't want to compromise taste, then you got to try Built. With Built, healthy is actually tasty. Seriously, they're so delicious and you won't think they're good for you. It's perfect for your New Year's resolution. We got so many great flavors for you guys to choose from churro to peanut butter brownie, coconut almond. And what makes them so good, besides all those great flavors, is they're covered in 100% real chocolate. I'm not sure how Built does it, but these bars taste like a candy bar while maintaining amazing macros. And what's even better is they're healthy. They're just 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, and a whopping 17 grams of protein. And now you don't even need to wait around for a box. For years, we've been talking about ordering at built.com. Now you can get them at your local Walmart or Sam's Club. So head to your nearest Walmart today, walk into the pharmacy section, and grab yourself a box of Built Bars. You can pick up a 4-bar pack of cookies and cream, double chocolate, or coconut puffs. And if you're close to Sam's Club, run in and grab a 13-bar box with our hit flavors, brownie batter and churro. You guys can thank me later. Get yourself the best tasting protein bar by getting a Built Bar. You guys should know the drill by now. Check out the Locked On College Basketball podcast for your second listen of the day. Experts Isaac Shade and Andy Patton bring you everything you need to know on and off the court. Hear from big name experts, coaches, and players throughout the college basketball landscape. It's Locked On College Basketball, available on YouTube and wherever you're getting your podcasts. Closing thoughts, and I'll make this quick. Like I said, this is the move. This is the commit. This is the recruit, the signing that could, I'm not saying it will, but it could be what changes Arizona State Sun Devils moving forward. This could be the move that starts bringing in more guys. Heck, this might not be the last recruit that Arizona State gets. There's still time for more guys to come in via the transfer portal. There's still more time or you know what? That might not be true. I think the portal might have closed. Don't quote me on that. There's time for guys who haven't signed yet to come to Arizona State. There's a lot of opportunity here for Arizona State to capitalize on this move, for Arizona State to truly be able to take that next step forward as a program. Kenny Dillingham has this team trending in the right direction. It's hard not to get invested. It's hard not to get excited. So just know that you're not alone in freaking out. I recorded this, obviously, not long after this happened. And this is one of those things that is really difficult to not freak out about. I am so beyond excited for Arizona State Sun Devils football. I already was. You guys know, you've watched this podcast. And if you haven't, then I'm here to tell you that I'm all in on Kenny Dillingham. I'm all in on activating the Valley. I'm all in on this next stage in Arizona State Sun Devils football history. Now you're already starting to see the rewards that are paying off for this team. You're already seeing everything begin to come together for the program. You have brought in so many new faces that are going to make this program better. And even if it's not a year one impact, because I still don't know that this is a team that is instantly going to be right back in the win column and right back in the thick of it for competing for the Pac-12. That still feels like a down the road thing. But this is the move. This is the shockwave that Arizona State needed to get that ball rolling. Moving forward, it would be very difficult to believe that Arizona State can't continue to recruit the way that they are right now. I'll leave you with this. It's now up to Kenny Dillingham to show that he's more than just a recruiter. The ball is officially in Kenny Dillingham's court for him to show that he is going to be a great coach and not just a guy who can pull in high school players, because we've seen that same song and dance before. We have seen plenty of great recruiters who just could not coach these guys to take that next step, only for those players to transfer and get great opportunities. So it's going to be up to Kenny Dillingham to be able to actually coach these guys now. And he's a young coach. He's only 32 years old. This is a guy with not a lot of coaching experience. This is a guy who has shown flashes in the pan and has shown that he can be great. Now we need to see it all together. It's now time for us to see if Kenny Dillingham is ready to be a head coach. That's where we're at right now. He can recruit. We know that. He's already shown that prowess at Arizona State. The next step is showing that you're ready to be that coach. That's all I got for you guys right now. I am going live tonight on YouTube at 8 p.m. Arizona time. I don't know if we're Mountain or if we're Pacific. I believe we're Pacific right now. I will be live on YouTube at 8 o'clock tonight to talk to you guys about the stage of this program moving forward. We're going to talk all things recruiting. We're going to talk anything you guys want to talk about regarding Arizona State Sun Devils, football or basketball. So make sure you guys tune in tonight, and wherever you're getting your podcasts, hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow, and turn on notifications so you get an update when we post new content. Until next time, Sun Devils family, you keep it locked right here on Locked On Sun Devils.